everybody. I am here with Marty at PAX Unplugged. No plug.
It's like the acoustic version of PAX.
It is?
Yeah.
Let's go see what they have here.
Yeah, so I know you haven't had a chance to walk around a lot because you've been working in your booth at Passport Game Studios.
Yes.
But it is a really nice vendor hall for the very first ever PAX Unplugged. To me, it very much reminds me of Origins as in size. There's a lot of big vendors here this time, and maybe more so than what they have at Origins, because number one, it's the end of the year, so probably a lot of vendors just want to check out, hey, this new convention, everything, and see what it is. But let me tell you, over here is a game that I got to check out from Archon Games, Catan. It is a game that was, I believe it was on Kickstarter, and it kind of caught my eye because see how dark and everything the board is.
It's funny how the incredibly dark board that matches the dark tablecloth caught your eye.
It did. It's a deck building game, but there's area control elements. It's kind of like Tyrants of the Underdark.
I was about to ask.
It does have that same feel to it, but it has a really cool mechanic of when you play your cards, there's 4 different stats, and each stat does a different thing, like it's the number of extra cards you can draw per turn. We got it, we played it, really enjoyed it. You got to get it directly from them, and that stack on the back wall is all they have left, and I believe that's not their first printing. I can't remember which printing one it was, but they said it sells like crazy, and that stack was a lot higher on Thursday.
Wow, that's what's so great about this industry. Even at Gen Con, that's how vast was when it first came out. You can have one little game from a brand new little publisher that's doing it all themselves, but if that game is good, it'll catch people's attention and start the buzz and the momentum for it.
Yeah, this is a con that has attracted a lot of new people that may never have checked out a convention. So I think what the appeal of this was everybody knows about the PAX video game convention, so they thought, let's go check out the PAX Unplugged.
The electric ones. The electric ones.
Yeah, they know the electric ones.
Yeah.
Let's go check out the more mellow acoustic version.
Exactly, yeah. And you're right about seeing the same people at the conventions. I mean, I see you at almost every one I go to.
There's so many new people coming that the publishers aren't having as great of sales-wise because of that. I've just talked to a few. Now, you said you did pretty well yesterday.
Yeah, but there have been a lot of looky-loos and stuff. Actually, you know what's happened at this?
Looky-loos? I have not heard that term.
Oh, really?
Good, yeah.
The other thing, too, is like many of these conventions, more and more, it's not just games. There are other stuff. And here is Tectonic Craft Studios, who I'd never heard of before this show. But they make some amazing little, it looks like laser cut wood stuff.
Yes, terrain for miniatures games, and actually this is my first time seeing it. And recently I've been getting into games like 40K and just now Necromunda, and this is really cool. In fact, I may want to come back over here and get some prices of some of this stuff, because this is really neat. But yes, PAX also has this big thing where they have the Acquisition Inc. That's their big D&D RPG session that they have at most PAX events, where they have the 2 founders get together and play D&D on stage in front of a huge audience. So probably a lot of PAX fans are probably already RPGers anyway. And
it seems like the events that they're running are drawing a larger crowd than similar events at like Origins and Gen Con. It seems like the people coming to this convention are really into the personalities that are running it, and that draws a big crowd that way too.
One popular activity at PAX events is the Penny Arcade, right there, the Penny Arcade authorized pin dealer, where you collect pins. So people have all these different pins made, and it's going to be from here of board games and characters from board games and stuff, and you come and buy and try to collect the pins. So there's people walking around, I don't know if you've seen with their lanyards
covered in pins
all over them. So that's a carryover thing from like other PAX events.
And these aren't the little round button pins. These are the die-cut enamel inlaid color neat pins.
Yeah, really nice, $10 to $20 pins. Yeah, so I guess they.
You're gonna. I'm not with him.
Come back later. We'll show you behind the curtain.
Ooh.
Nah, actually, we won't.
So the pins are something that's like almost a scavenger hunt for the different people coming here to go collect them all and make a set of pins.
Well, no, but I think that's the whole idea, is to get you to go around the different booths and check out the other booths.
Oh,
For example, Restoration Games has some super nice pins. I actually want to get their Fireball Island pin.
Ooh.
I don't know if you've seen it. It's a nice little design of the Fireball Island game that they have coming out soon, and they're here. And in one of the corners, in fact, it's right there. But it's not. It's another aisle.
We can do magic.
That was not planned very well.
We can do the magic editing. Do it now.
It's right there.
Hey, it's Renegade booth.
It's become one of my favorite publishers. They just have great games coming out all the time, and one that people have been really excited about is Pye Town right here.
I have not even heard of Pye Town yet.
Oh my gosh, and you're even in the industry?
I stand on the edge and look in. All I have seen is the back end of a booth. So
The back end of a what?
the back end of a booth.
A booth. Okay.
I like big.
So Pye Town looks like it's this little, hey, like cute game. It's actually a nice little worker placement style game.
Oh.
It plays like 45 minutes to an hour. So it's one of those things like, oh, this is like a cute little kid's game, but it's actually a game with a little bit of depth and a great theme that everybody can relate to.
Does it use custom dice? Is that what that is on this little tree?
Do those look like normal dice?
No.
Then yes, they're custom. Have you ever seen those dice before? They're specifically made for that game. Hey, another game. If you walk this way, right here
I'm walking that way.
is a game that just came out that reminds me of like Sushi Go. Now, the reason why I want to pick this up is because this is designed by my good friend Nate Bivens. And he's part of my game group and stuff, and he designed this cute little game called Sunday Split, which is like a take on Sushi Go. So it's the same sort of mechanics. We're trying to score points like in Sushi Go, but the big difference is the split you choose, where you take a certain number of cards and you split them into piles, and everybody picks which pile they want. And trying to get cherries and ice cream, different flavors and sprinkles on top, but there's vegetables in here. But vegetables on ice cream? Nobody wants that. So that's negative points.
Okay.
So when you do the split and choose, it's like, well, nobody wants to pick the one with the vegetables. There's this little twist in there where you can take 3 of the cards and turn them face down.
Hide your vegetables.
So it's this really cool mechanic of this the split you choose with the bluffing element to it. And then kind of that whole medium game is one of my favorite games right over here, and I need you to say that name right there because I can't say it.
Pandemic. Oh, it's been a long week.
Now, let's move on.
Hi, we're on camera for some unknown reason.
Scott Morris has called this the game that is better than any game ever invented in the history of humanity, and it's more fun than sex.
Is that the title of the game?
No, this is the game.
No, that's the tagline.
This
And
is
it includes Scott Morris said.
okay. This is the Magic Keeper, an offer you can't defuse.
I could get right into it.
Oh, I both love and hate it at the same time. Talking because since PAX, we've already talked about this blend of video gamers and board gamers. There's a game here that is a blend of video and board game.
So I had the chance to check out Catan VR. They were doing some demos for us, and there's a chair or something right behind me.
The chair is part of the demo processing.
So I had the chance to check out Catan VR,
Okay.
which is a virtual reality application of actually sitting down and playing a game of Catan.
Okay, do you actually put on the goggles?
You put them on, and then at that point, it's like you're sitting at a table inside like a house inside a Catan village.
Okay.
And as you turn your head, you can look around and see 3 other people at the table playing with you. And so you look down at the board and you would see the Catan board on the table, and then you actually just sit there and play a game. You got a little interactive menu where you can like roll the dice, and it rolls, automatically gives you your resources. And you got a panel where you can suggest to give trades to people and accept trades.
Okay.
The idea is that you can play online with other people. So the Rift has headphones and microphone built into it, so you can sit there and chat with each other as you're playing the game.
Huh. So, okay, because I was curious about this. I was wondering, is it like you're standing in a field, building your city, going down the roads and stuff? But
You actually have to physically build the road. You actually act like that you have a pickaxe in your hand as you build the road. It does go from like a 1-hour game to like a 6-week game.
Okay.
But the experience is very authentic. Just I don't want to tell you what you have to do with the sheep.
See, it's conversations like this that make me wish I could tell when you're lying.
So anyway,
I wonder how many more games we're going to see take that approach.
that's a good question, and I think they're just kind of dipping their toe into that world, that realm, and this is kind of really good place to do that since this is PAX, which is first started out as a video gaming
Yes,
convention, and now it's kind of moved into the board games
because of the acoustics.
Across the two.
Yeah. Because it's an acoustic version.
You're going to keep going back to that, aren't you?
I know,
Sometimes it's best to give the joke and just boom. But sometimes if you just kind of keep doing it over and over, it just kind of loses. Now it's more like this.
See, I'm gonna splice into right after. I'm not gonna tell you what you do with the sheep.
Just I don't want to tell you what you have to do with the sheep.
Mock me all you wish, Connell. I have the power of editing.
Yes, Mr. Bonacore of Stronghold Games, you can come on this video, but can we actually talk about something else besides just pushing your games? Yeah, that's what I thought. It's right there.
Aha, you found it. What is it?
This is a game I've been waiting for to come out since I saw it at Origins. It's basically it's like a hidden movement.
I lied to you. I actually have had this on pre-order for months. I am dying for it to arrive.
Got to play it last night.
Right next to me.
Right next to you. You were doing something else. We got to check this game out, and this game was incredible. It's everything that I wanted it to be. And number one, I love the Lord of the Rings theme. And typically I don't like a lot of hidden movement games. I don't know, sometimes they just kind of like, I'll play it once or twice and be done with it. But the mechanics in this game are just top notch, because as Nazgul, you're trying to hunt down the Fellowship. The four hobbits, they're trying to get to Bree or one of the another location. But there's this great card play dynamic where you can play cards. There's a dice rolling mechanic where you roll dice, and those dice have actions on them that the Nazgul must share during the whole phase. So you're talking, well, let me use this dice to do this, and use this dice to do this. And there's like two games in this. There's like a game on the front, you can flip over and it can extend to another game on the back. You can play them individually, or it can actually be combined with the War of the Ring. So the result of this can actually tie right into the War of the Ring base game.
That is so clever. Now I want it more.
There you go.
Awesome. Okay, what's next?
Did you know that Spirit Island is a cooperative settlers destruction strategy game?
Oh, that Spirit. I was thinking of a different Spirit Island.
Yeah, maybe the one that
I was thinking Spirit Atoll. I want to show you something I saw that presents here that surprised me.
Like Christmas presents?
No, presents like, yeah, like presents. I was hoping you'd buy me a game. Throughout the week, I've been spending a few of my breaks wandering the hall, and one of the publishers I wanted to find was Fantasy Flight. And I looked in, I couldn't find Fantasy Flight until I realized this was Fantasy Flight's area this time.
Yeah, and it's just basically just a demo spot.
That's what's so interesting about it. You know, like we've mentioned, a lot of publishers, since this is the first PAX Unplugged, are using this to kind of feel out and see what's going on. And yeah, Fantasy Flight didn't buy any product to sell. They're just demoing. And for a convention where the first one is a larger draw than Origins, that's a really interesting tactic to see some of these publishers take.
Yeah, in fact, I think it's just Asmodee in general, because over here they're checking out you can check out Pandemic Legacy Season 2, the new unlocks or whatever. Again, they're all kind of under the same company umbrella now with Asmodee.
That's true, yeah.
Yeah, you're right, and it's right up front, so they bought premium space for demos, but not actually selling the games.
Yeah, I wonder how much different their approach will be at PAX Unplugged number 2.
Yeah.
That's going to be interesting to see. Did it work for them, or is it a lesson that they learned that they're going to do something different next time? Thoughtful commentary inserted there.
Comment below.
Ooh.
Yeah, so we were over at that the marketplace, and they have a Cajun place, and they have Alligator Gumbo. My wife's family's from Louisiana, so I said, "You ever had Alligator Gumbo?" You said no. I said, "You gotta get a little sample of this." Going inside, there's a lot of places to eat. Being from Oregon, Chaz has probably never had alligator.
No.
And at this Cajun place inside the market, they have Alligator Gumbo. Chaz is going to try his first taste of alligator.
First with the grits, now with alligator. Great.
You're becoming cultured. It's an alligator shot.
Well, that's not bad. I can honestly say it's the best reptile I've ever eaten. Would eat again, even crocodiles.
And you tried it, you said it's actually pretty good.
The texture was actually a lot lighter than I thought it was going to be. It was big and chewy. It wasn't like a stringy piece of chicken. It almost reminded me of like a big hunk of cod or something. It had that big kind of light, chewy texture. So yeah, I was impressed. And it is the best reptile I've ever eaten.
How many reptiles have you had?
Well, one.
But it is the best.
Marty, what's this? There's all these tables over here. This is the first time I've had a chance to look at this. What is it?
It's the first look section. Aptly named.
The names. What is it?
So we're a couple weeks past Essen.
Yes.
And so a lot of big games came out, and what PAX Unplugged has done is grabbed a lot of these new games from Essen, like Dragon's Gate College and Agra was a big game. They've grabbed them, pulled them over here, and actually put them out on these tables with the special purple tablecloths so that people can come out and check the hottest games that were just released that may not be available in stores yet. So a lot of these games that you're going to see on the table, you could pick them up at Essen, but maybe they're not published here in the U.S. or they sold out or whatever, but at least you can get a chance to play them before you buy them.
So it's not just showing them off, it's actually letting people play them. And do you think that this, having all these Essen games for the first look area is one of the reasons why they chose to have PAX in November?
I'm not sure. You've asked me a question I cannot answer.
Are Essen games the only ones they had here for people to try out without having to buy?
That's a great question, and the answer to that is no. They actually have a lending library over here where you can come and check out some of the big games and old games, new games, whatever, to pick up and go play in the free open gaming area.
Wow, so you don't have to necessarily even have brought in games or buy games here. This is a pretty big lending library, especially for a convention's first year.
It is, and so I know they've been working to get a lot of games to the library, and of course, you know, it's probably not as big as what they want or maybe what people want it to be, but the nice thing is this is just the start. As PAX continues into future years, they'll add more games to this and it'll just get bigger and bigger.
Look at that, and what's really amazes me is, for PAX, which started out as a video game centric series of conventions, this is a lot of board games, and board games don't use electricity because they're unplugged.
I think that's. Oh, that's why they call it that.
Been here for 4 days and sunk in. So Marty, I'm really glad that we got this opportunity for you to give me a tour of the full hall before it started going today, because really, honestly, this is the most I've been able to see of the hall in this whole week. So I was glad to have you guiding me through it.
Well, I don't know. That was Chris Leader. We just got Chris Leadered.
We got Chris Leadered. So what I want to know is, would you come back to PAX Unplugged again?
Oh, sure. I mean, this is, again, I love the origin of this feel. It's not so insane, and he's not looking at me.
Wait, we gotta go down this aisle. So yeah, would you come back to it again?
Yes, I would, because it's the size of Origins, which I like the size. So it's
Yes.
not Gen Con crazy. And you know what? They did a great job. The aisles here are really big.
Yes.
And they seem bigger, but better laid out than what they are at Gen Con. So it's easy to move around and manipulate. Big open gaming area. It's at a good time of year. I'm really hoping that maybe next year they can actually have a lot of those hot Essen games here for sale. That's my hope. But I hope that if that's the case, then I could almost see PAX Unplugged becoming the place in America. It's like, hey, let's go to PAX and get the latest Essen games that just came out a few weeks ago.
Oh, interesting, yes. So do you think that, this is another convention to add to the list? We got Gen Con, we got Origins, we got BGG, we got PAX Unplugged. Would you be willing to add this to your list of conventions to rotate through in the year?
Too early to tell.
Okay.
I just got to see what's going to be happening in 2018. But the nice thing about this is because so many new people came to this convention, I think this is the right place and the right time, because we did get a bunch of new people to come check out a gaming con that may never have and build this community.
That's true. So for you, in terms of evaluating whether it's worth returning to again, you need to sit back and evaluate. You need to detach from it. You need to unplug. Well, okay, everybody. No.
Yeah.
Hey, everybody. So
Better.
all right. So I'm in the hall now. Now I remember, when we record, we have 40 minutes of trying to start, and then the rest we start.
That's pretty
Yeah. Okay.
I'm sorry. I don't know if I want to buy all this medical equipment because I'm not really sure if I'm into it. It's probably exactly something like that.
Exactly.
So I had a chance to get a belt. Cynthia. of a game. Now, it was Saturday, which was the most packed day, but still.
The most packed Unplugged.
It's pretty good. The most packed acoustic version.